Hello, Daily Drafters. Today is Thursday, December 2nd, and thanks for joining me for today's Daily Draft. Today we'll be drafting Innistrad Crimson Vow for the 14th time here on the channel, coming fresh off of our second trophy in the format. See if we can follow it up with another here. Awesome. We finally, I feel like this might be the first, maybe second time on the channel we opened an insane bomb rare. Pack one, pick one. So we're going to be slamming Helana and Elena partners here. Really holding on to red-green for dear life. Good thing is red-green is one of the best decks in the format, so I think we might be able to really force this deck pretty hard and have success with Helana and Elena. Now, there is a chance we get pushed off of it, but we'll see how the draft goes as far as sticking with red-green. There is an Evolving Wilds. If that wheels, we could think about splashing it if we get pushed off of one of these colors, but we'll start here. And of course, the next pack has almost no red or green cards. Great white, really great black. Yeah, this is difficult. So, best card in the pack, I think, is Fell Stinger by a pretty wide margin here. I don't think we've ever seen this card in a pack in this format on this channel. It's very good. Traveling Minister is very good. Heron Hope's just fine. But see, if I pass all of these cards to my left and take something like Lacerate Flesh or Fearful Villager here, which is obviously much worse, it keeps the option open for Helana and Elena, and it'll put our neighbors in colors that we are not. So pack 2, we could get really hooked up with something here. I think I'm just going to go ahead and stay down this path. I would not hold on to for dear life this badly if this card wasn't as good as it is. So, all right, here we are. Pick 3, we've got a Snarling Wolf, a Taxidermist, a Stalker, and a Celebrants here. Best card in the pack is probably one of these two, probably Taxidermist or maybe even Celebrant, so it's good that they're in our colors. I think I'm going to go ahead and take the 2-drop here. This can guarantee a turn 3 Helana and Elena, which is insane. Not many instant speed ways to answer that, except maybe Hero's Downfall, but we'll go ahead and take the Taxidermist here. Okay, not great options for really anyone, to be honest. Cloaked Cadet, I don't think is going to be for us. Bloody Betrayal, no, and the Festivities, no. Maybe Combatants. Epicure is a fine 1-drop, but doesn't really go in this deck. If this were a Snarling Wolf, I think I'd take it. There's a Witch's Web as well, but I'd much rather Massive Might in this deck. So it's between Epicure and Combatants here, I think. I think I'll go ahead and take the Epicure, but I'm really not happy about this pick. And honestly, no matter what color we are, I don't think we'd be happy about this pick. So we'll just go ahead and take the Epicure here. Great to see a Runebound Wolf here. This goes perfectly in red-green. There's another Wilds floating around. There's a Lightning Wolf, a Blood Hypnotist, but we're going to slam this Runebound Wolf here. Okay, so there's a Combatant, Spore Crawler, Celebrant. I think we'll take the Spore Crawler. Celebrant, I think it goes much better in vampires, obviously, as it is a vampire. But I think we'll just go ahead and go for the value with the Spore Crawler here. Okay, so some really good blue here. There's also Markov Retribution, Lightning Wolf. So the Retribution means that red is likely open from this side, specifically red-black. But we already don't. We have one vampire, and it's a 1/1, so I don't think Retribution's necessarily for us. We'll take Lightning Wolf, but not super happy about it. So there's a Lacerate Flesh here, which I think is a fine removal spell to have access to. You definitely want removal. Good thing is red gives us access to Abrade and Flame Blessed Bolt, which I think are two that we're going to have to really prioritize highly here. Wouldn't mind putting together a little bit of an Ancestral Anger package, but I'll go ahead and take my first Lacerate Flesh over that. So we did get the Wilds back here in pick 9. It's either that or another Lightning Wolf. Sheltered Boughs is not really what we're looking for. So we'll take this in the event that we get pushed off of one of these colors here. and can look to splash Helana and Elena. Here's another Lacerate Flesh. I'm not thrilled about running two, but neither of these are main deckable in this format, so I'll go ahead and take the second. A Celebrant's Wield, which either means this table doesn't know that this card is just pretty objectively powerful, or red is pretty open here. So we'll go ahead and slam the Celebrants. And here we go. So red looks to be pretty open. These cards aren't great, but the fact that there's nothing but red left means that red is likely pretty open. Don't think I want to play either of those cards, and let's hope we can open another green or red rare, as we did. Okay, good. We'll take Ulvenwald Oddity pretty easily. For those of y'all that were playing around, what's it called? That busted set with Oko. It's not even at the top of my mind right now. This reminds me a bit of Questing Beast. It's 4/4 Trample Haste. The Questing Beast had Death Touch and couldn't be blocked by creatures 2 or less, but this does a lot of the similar things that Questing Beast did in Limited, right? Would love to have an Abrade, but I don't think we can consider taking that over Oddity. So we'll go ahead and slam the Oddity here. And then follow it up with a really nice removal spell in Rending Flame. Yeah, not much else here. I would love to wheel this Snarling Wolf. Would definitely play it in this deck, but we'll go ahead and slam this Rending Flame here. Okay, so we've got Infestation Expert, Reckless Impulse, and Spore Crawler. I'm going to take my first Impulse here. Really good card advantage in this kind of deck. We have a lot of creatures. We're going to be establishing the board, and as soon as we run out of gas, we can just refill our hand with Impulse. Another Impulse, a Fearful Villager, or a Honeymoon Hearse. Let's see what our curve is looking like. We're looking a little heavy on 3s for now, but I don't think we need a second Impulse over another werewolf creature. So we'll go ahead and take that. Throne of Eldraine. I don't know why that just came to me now. Here we are. Yes, Throne of Eldraine was the set that Questing Beast was in. Okay, so really, really good card in Blood Tithe Harvester here, but I don't know if we can take it. We could consider splashing it with the Wilds, but it's a 2-drop, so I don't think that's ideal. The problem is I don't think we want to play either of these as well. So why don't we go ahead and just take the Harvester? I doubt we're playing it, but we wouldn't take anything else there. Spiked Ripsaw is fine here. Best card in the pack's probably Gluttonous Guest. Grisly Ritual not far behind, but I think Spiked Ripsaw can work well in a deck like this with high creature count, being able to equip them and just really get in there. Really good to see a Flame Blessed Bolt here. See, I think red is wide open. This is pick 7 for this card, which means almost no one at the table's red. There might be one other red drafter at this table, but we're happy to see this, and we hope that some of these really good cards these good red cards get open to pack 3, so they come our way. There's a Disciple or an Impulse. I'll take a second Impulse, but I don't know my likelihood to play it. We did open an Abrade in pack 1, or in pack 2, pick 1 here, which will be our next pack. So let's see if that Abrade comes back. It did not, so there likely is another red drafter at the table, which is fine. This holds down the fort pretty well if we ever get on the back foot here. Yeah, we'll go ahead and take the Scorpion. Not thrilled to play it, but we'll see. All right, we got the Wolf back, which is great news. Really all we have to care about Wolves right now so far, I guess, is the Runebound Wolf. But there's a chance in pack 3 we could pick up something else that does. So I guess we'll go ahead and take a Spore Crawler here. Could give consideration to the Knife, but in this deck, I think I want to lean on the side of taking creatures over non-creatures. So. All right. Well, we opened 3 bomb rares. Pack 1, Pack 2, and Pack 3. Unfortunately, this one we cannot play. It's just way too far away. It's double black. We have no way to really consider splashing that. We could do Taxidermist plus Wilds here, but that's not a reliable source. Unfortunately, there's really nothing else for us. Laid to Rest. How many humans do we have? 5 humans? We're not really taking advantage of the second half of Laid to Rest here. We could take another Epicure, a Sharpshooter. I'm really upset about taking the Epicure here, but there's really just nothing for us. I might even just, yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and rare draft here because we can wheel one of those other cards. All right, good. Rending Flame number 2. Happy to see that. Sorry to our person to our left who can't play the Purveyor in their deck, but we'll go ahead and take another Rending Flame. Cards that we could look to wheel here. Weaver of Blossoms, I definitely think I would play a copy. Celebrants, maybe. I don't think Millipede. I've never seen this on the battlefield in this format, and I'm not too unhappy about it. We'll take Rending Flame. All right, so we've got Gambit, not for us. Another Ripsaw, a Weary Prisoner. Or an Honored Heirloom Blood Servitor. I think we can go ahead and take another Ripsaw here. I've had a deck that had 2 before. It's a lot of mana, but as long as you have a creature on the battlefield, these can kind of go crazy. Maybe we wheel this Prisoner and we might play it, depending on what comes our way between now and then. Okay, so we've got Sure Strike, Raconteur, and Ceremonial Knife. So whenever you cast a non-creature spell, which currently we have 6, 7, 8. Said we had 2 equipment. Oh, here's the 2 equipment. Okay, so 8 is pretty good for the Raconteur, honestly. I don't know if we'll play all 8 because we are sitting at, if we take this, we're sitting at 23 cards. So, do have another Impulse if we wanted it, but that's about it. So I think we'll take the Raconteur. It's either that or Sure Strike or maybe a Knife. But again, it's another Werewolf we can go ahead and consider here. Evolving Wilds, Lightning Wolf, Flame Breather. We're not looking to splash anything except maybe the Harvester, but I don't think that's a great splash. We're not going to be making a lot of blood here. We can go ahead and take another 2-drop. We're a little low on 2-drop creatures, and they're very, very important. I've had a good green-red deck in this format that was lacking 2-drops, and we just kind of petered out because of it. So I'm going to go ahead and just shore up the 2-drop here. Here's another kind of 2-drop, but this gets rid of their 2-drop, essentially. So glad to see an Abrade here, pick 6. Would love to get another Abrade or a Bolt before the wheel here, if they're opened. Survey, no. Witch's Web. So one thing we didn't get access to was a Massive Might in this draft, which is kind of unfortunate, but let's see how our curve is looking. We could probably afford another Celebrance. I don't think we need our first Anger, so let's go ahead and take a Celebrance. We'll see. Awesome pickup in Hookhand Mariner here. We'll take another Epicure. This is the one out of pack 1 that we were considering taking originally, but I went ahead and rare drafted. We got it anyway. Don't know if we'll play it, but that's fine. None of these cards matter. So we did get the Prisoner back. We'll have to... And then a Sure Strike. So this will be an interesting deck build to balance creature versus non-creature spells. I don't think maybe the Raconteur comes into effect there if we want to do that, but we'll go ahead and see how the deck build works out here. And a last pick, Lacerate Flesh. Okay. All right, here at deck building, let's see. So we've got a lot of cuts to make. Okay. Start with our non-creatures. 3 Lacerate Flesh. I don't think we need 3. We can probably get away. Well, maybe we can keep both impulses, but let's see. So we need another 8 cuts, and right now we have 20 creatures, so we can't cut 8 creatures because then we'll end up with 12, which is not enough. So we definitely need to cut something down here. I'll cut an impulse. I don't know if we need double Ripsaw. I think I'm going to cut the Sure Strike. I will cut 1 Ripsaw. I like the rest of these non-creature. Well, maybe we can cut 1 more Lacerate Flesh. Now we need 4 creature cuts, which puts us at 16, which I think is good. Our count for the Raconteur currently is 4, 5, 6, 7. It's not bad. Little heavy on the 4 drops. I think our worst ones are Wolf and Prisoner here. We could consider cutting a Celebrants. We probably don't need Combatants. I'd like to keep all of our 2s. Maybe we can cut 1 Epicure, and then I think we can cut these 2 4s here, which leaves us with 17 lands in this deck here. Curve is a little awkward. It's not bad. We do have 4 cards here, so it's 4, 4, and 4. These are all quite good 4-drops, though, so we're not cutting any of those, and a double Celebrants is fine at the top. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 removal spells here to clear the way, card draw spell, and a way to push through damage here. I think it's a nice little tight deck here. We're not super aggressive, so I think we can still run this Wilds. And then we'll go ahead and add 8 and 8, I think. Oops. There we go. Let's get these up to 8. And it looks like that'll be the deck for today. Awesome, so before we get into round 1, I'd like to remind you to go ahead and drop a like on the video if you like what you're seeing here. Go ahead and click that subscribe button. It really helps me out to continue to make this great content for y'all. Win or lose, I really think these things are valuable. I'm not sure I've seen anyone else doing as many drafts as I'm providing y'all with here on YouTube. And I think it's a really unique opportunity to get in early on a channel like this that can hopefully really provide you with the content you need to go win your own drafts at your local FNMs, or if you do a couple drafts on Arena as well. So really appreciate if you consider clicking that subscribe button to help me out here. So let's go ahead and hop in to round 1. All right, so Halana and Elena on 4. Can't really pass that up, so we'll go ahead and keep it. I always cringe a little when I see black on the other side of the battlefield, because the amount of bomb rares in black in this set is just disturbing. So no 3-drop, but at least we do have a play in Scorpion here. Looks like they might have braided it, sure. That at least clears the way for Halana and Elena to hit the battlefield. Assuming they don't leave up another one. That's unfortunate. And a Blood Tithe Harvester, now with 2 blood, means we can't play Halana and Elena, so we have to do this. Of course, we get wrecked by the main deck and the festivities here, which is unfortunate, but we'll see if they want to use their Harvester to kill the Raconteur. I wouldn't mind if they do, because that would ideally clear the way for Halana and Elena, but the problem is this card is not that great unless we have another creature on the battlefield, so let's hope we can draw one of those. Okay, so they're going to save it. We'll do another land and then pass it and turn it into a 4/4, because we don't want to expose this to the Harvester, unfortunately. No blocks. Okay, so another Another blood token here. We could attack. Yeah, we probably should attack here. I doubt they'll double block, but you never know. Okay, so they might have a bolt or something to finish it off. Yeah, they do. Okay, that's fine. For as long as this Harvester's on the battlefield, our Helana and Elena is not looking particularly great. So I think we have to trade this for the Harvester here, even though they can get it back. It does draw a card. We just need a window for this to stick around for a turn or two. So we draw another land. Unfortunately, we don't quite have 8 mana here. We do have a little bit of protection if they can't kill this. If they don't top deck a removal spell here, then we can transform it next turn into an 8/8 to protect it from the Harvester. But so right now we're taking 5, possibly more if they want to pump it, maybe 7, up to 7. I think we can afford to attack at least this turn here. So we can't even protect it, because if we flip it, the Harvester can still kill it. Yeah, see, this is why the Harvester is such a good card, right? We have 2 really big bombs here, but it just kind of shuts them down, and we just keep drawing lands here. So we could play this, turn this into a 6/6, and then they have to choose what to kill. Yeah, I think it's time. We can't really just keep sitting behind this, because this isn't even protected from the Harvester if they choose to use it next turn. So let's go ahead and just cast this. 5, 9, 10. So we only have 7 lands left in our top 24 here. Can't use it at instant speed. We'll pump that. And they have a Death Toucher, so I don't want to trade here, because we can essentially trade this for the Death Toucher, and then this would trade for that. We'd be left with nothing in hand. They would have 2 creatures, so we just can't really consider that. So we'll just sit behind these and see what they choose to remove. Looks like they'll remove the Oddity. They do have good attacks now, unfortunately. No blocks. We do need to draw something that's not a land here. Reckless Impulse would be good for us, too. Oh my god. What do you want me to do about it? So we're at 11 lands now. So 6 more in our top 23. Go ahead and take another 3 here. And just die next turn, essentially. have to chump with Alana and Elena. That's fun. Does that menace? No. Alright, I'm going to bluff that I drew something here. See if it changes their mind. Okay, combatants probably does it either way. Let's see if they go for it or not. And they do. So if they attack with all, then I think we just lose here. Because we can... It depends on what they give it to. Yeah, so if they attack with all, we're dead. Let's see if they go for it. Yep, there it is. So we drew both of our bombs, but that's about all we drew that game. that wasn't a land. So, do we need to consider going to 16 with this deck? I doubt it. I mean... Maybe we can. Maybe if we go to 16 and add just like an Epicure to help us with another blood token. Probably go down Forest, go to 16 here. See how that works out for us. Obviously now we'll get screwed, but that last game was just ridiculous. We just never played because we... I think we drew 11... Yeah, 11 lands in our top 16 cards or something like that. Alright, don't have a play before 3, but we could play Spore Crawler, trade it off, and draw a card here. Hopefully we draw 2-drop before turn 2. That'd be nice. There we go. Flying will certainly be annoying here, but we shall see. Okay. I think we'll go ahead and play Crawler. Still don't have good attacks with the Geist unless they remove something here. Discard. Yep, just a land. Okay. Alright, so we can just play our Oddity and hope it survives. We could also play Epicure plus Villager here. Let's see. Yeah, I think we can go ahead and get in there, play Epicure plus Villager here. So they will trade. We'll draw a card. There's our land for the flesh next turn if we want it. We might need to use the flesh on the Drake depending on how many flyers they drop down here. Okay. And an infantry. Alright, so I think we can go ahead and just use the flesh on the Drake. It gives us 3 blood tokens as well, which is really nice. We just need to get rid of this flyer here. And we don't have good attacks after that, so. I think I'm going to go ahead and Impulse here. We don't even have great attacks with the Oddity at this point is the problem. So let's go ahead and Impulse. Looks like they don't have anything. We'll play our land over here. We'll play a Taxidermist. We'll play a Wolf, and then we can get rid of the Forest with the Blood token. Okay, that smells of Counterspell here. All right, so that flips it for us, which is nice. How many creatures? 1 in the graveyard. So Taxidermist isn't really close to being a 4/4. I don't want to play Oddity into all of this mana. We do have a removal spell. Look, they're not getting any priority here, so they very likely have... They could have Syncopate. They could have the 3 mana counter a creature or planeswalker. But we'll go ahead and try this and see if they want to double block. We can try to Rending Flame it down, because they can only Syncopate for 3 and we can pay that. Okay, so who do we want to get rid of here? Probably the Ancestor. So let's first see... This is Spirit, yeah. Let's first see if they have Syncopate. They do. Okay, so it looks like they still may counter it just to eat our Wolf, but I don't know. Oh, that's what they had. Okay, okay. That's fine, I think. So we'll go to damage here, and we will pitch the Forest end of turn. Oh no. Alright, whenever they cast an enchantment, they get spirits that keep growing. Do we want to pitch the Wilds as well? I think we do. Okay, is it time to play the Oddity here? I think it is. They're tapped out. They're incentivized to want to play enchantments with that on the battlefield now, so let's go ahead and drop the Oddity. And we'll get in there with it. And then we'll play Spore Crawler here. And we have the mana to flip Oddity next turn if we want to. If they don't do anything about it. No, they do. Okay. We could still flip it to give everything +1/+1, but it's a lot of mana to do that. I think I'd rather just play the Raconteur and the Epicure, get another blood token, and go from there. We can first get in there with Spore Crawler. So let's do that. Okay, so we probably want to get, it doesn't really matter. They already have 4. Probably get rid of the lifelinker here. Yep. We'll draw our card. And now if they go for an equip, we can bolt it. So let's play Raconteur here. We'll play Epicure to get the other blood in case we draw more land, and we'll hold out Bolt. Okay, so they're going to imprison it again. This will grow this spirit. So do they go for an equip here? They do, which is... Okay, so they're going to equip this one here. That's fine because the infantry won't grow. I mean, it's not fine because they make a free 4/4, but, you know. So let's go ahead and get rid of the infantry. Pretty good draw for us here. We can attack with the taxidermist. Would trade for one of these 3/3s. I think at this point we need to start making these trades. So let's do that. Because they're out of gas except for a couple enchantments here. So yeah, we just need to start whittling down their board as much as we can. So we got 2 more blood tokens here. Helena and Elena would be a great top deck. So they have 7 mana. They can only cast one of these. They can give one of these +2/+2, and then they have a 3/3, a 6/6, or a 5/5, 2 3/3s. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get rid of this land. So do we want to trade this for a 3/3 now? Again, I think with all these blood tokens, we're at the advantage of being able to draw into more spells and creatures if we want. So I think we do, because this has Menace. They'll have to block with the 3/3. Fortunately, that has lifelink, though. But we need to start getting these down. Yep. So they'll gain some life here. Okay, that's not great. I don't know if the Scorpion is good enough. We can probably do better than that, honestly, on this board. We are down to 13 cards in deck, which is noticeable here. And we probably only want to be pitching lands. We've only got 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we have 6 more lands than 13. With this life linker, I'm trying to think what we can do to get rid of it. We have a Braid, we have another Rending Flame, I think. We already used our Reckless Impulse. We have Lacerate Flesh, won't do it. I think I'm going to actually keep the Scorpion, flip our 2 creatures here, and then we can play it next turn if we really need to. So they'll just get rid of that. Can't do anything about it. Okay, so they're going to be gaining more life now. So this lifelink enchantment is going to make this difficult to race here. I think that helps, but I don't know exactly how much. So we can play this, give this Death Touch. It does flip these creatures back, but this one's probably going to get exiled next turn, and this one's probably going to die anyway. So let's do that. Give it Death Touch. Give it +2. And then see if they just take it. They do. So it'll flip back to day. They have a blood token here, and they, for some reason, chose not to use it. We won't block because we can't. They still have a 6/6 lifelinker, unfortunately. So we have a 4/5 menace. We can make it into a 6/7 menace, which trades with just one of these, which is not really good enough. This does grant haste. So we'll play the Mariner. Probably want to grant it haste here. And we can get in with these 3. I know they're going to be gaining some life, but right at this point we are dead in 3 turns here. So we want to get in like this. None of these have first strike, do they? No. Don't think it'll come down to decking at this point. That block makes sense. They get to gain more life, but I think we do have an Abrade left in the deck. All right, no more lands. We're out of blood here. We already got rid of like 5 lands. And we draw another land. So this can really only profitably pump the Hookhand Mariner. And well, at that point, we're just dead next turn. Yeah, because they have that and this. Because this will tap down Halana and Elena. It's the only reach creature. So let's give it to this one. I don't think it matters because we're just going to die here. So okay, so they have 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're dead, but let's try to bluff it. Sure. Sure. +1/+0 in vigilance. Okay. And that'll do it. All right. Now we get to rattle off 7 straight wins here. I hadn't played with or against that enchantment yet, and seems really good if you have a ton of enchantments. I mean, it just makes spirits that just keep growing with each other over and over. Definitely wouldn't have won, or they would not have won that game without that enchantment, that's for sure. So. All right, we have a flame breather. We don't want a 2-for-1 ourselves with the epic here, so let's just play another one. And we'll probably use one of these blood tokens to get rid of a mountain. Here, end of turn. Sure. Let's play Mountain, and we can hold up Rending Flame or Bolt. I doubt they're debating whether or not to use a removal spell. I bet they're just AFK or something. So they'll get rid of a Lacerate Flesh. That tells me they're probably stuck on mana here, trying to search for another one. They did still get priority, so they have something for at least a red and a black. Okay, so this can get indestructible. They have to pay 2 mana to do so, though. So I think we have to Rending Flame that here while they're tapped out. And I think we just want to get down the Raconteur. They'll probably just kill it, which I think is alright on this board. Are they going to flip it? Flip it tonight. Looks like they will. We'll draw another land. Because we don't have any more blood, we only need to get rid of one of these, but I'll go ahead. I mean, we'll start by trying to attack and see if they let us. Interesting, they do. Okay. We'll go ahead and play a Spore Crawler. We can play our 5th land and then pass, probably. That way we can hold up a blood token and bolt. So they'll kill it here. Not much we can do about that, so that's alright. We don't want to bolt their thing because it won't die. Sure. So we'll get rid of our land. We'll draw another one. And another one. All right. 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. All right, so at least we get to draw a card here. Not a bad draw. We'll keep this land to pitch to the blood token that it creates. So let's play the Celebrants here. They can crack their Fountain and get back Squire, and that's it. So that's not bad. We can play the Wolf. Sure, they can use that. We can play the Wolf, or we can use one of the blood tokens to get rid of the Forest. I think I'm going to play the Wolf here, because it can actually attack next turn. I'm going to hold on to the land to pitch it. I'm not sure these Epicures are really doing anything in this deck, unfortunately. So might have to look at putting them out. All right, so let's get rid of this. Oh my gosh. Well, at least we can thin out the deck with the wilds here. Yeah, let's attack with Snarling Wolf. Sure, we will pump it. Go to damage. Resolves. I will actually play the wild so that we can get 2 lands out of this card. We can still pitch this one. So let's end the turn. I don't think we have many lands left in the deck, to be honest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We're about to have our 12th, so we're going to have 4 in the last 20 cards. So we do 12 lands in 20. Okay. They have a Desperate Farmer that we can exile. So we'll go ahead and do that. And I'm going to thin the deck before I crack the token. Do we need another red or another green? I'm not sure it matters. I'll just get a green here. Not a bad draw there. Also not a bad draw. So they can't do anything about the oddity if we play it here. They can't block it effectively. If we play the Ripsaw, yeah, I think we just need to get this creature down here. And I don't think we want to attack with the Wolf because they could block and force us to use it, but I'd rather play the Ripsaw post-combat here. They don't have effective blocks here. They'll get back Squire into center, sure. See what they find off the Impulse. A Sure Strike, which is a little bit awkward. And they'll pack it in here. Thank God for all those blood tokens, otherwise we probably would have lost that game. Yeah, those Epicures basically 1 mana deal 1 make a blood token, which helped us in getting rid of some of those lands, but I'm wondering if we have a better option in our sideboard here. It would be another Impulse, a Sure Strike. I think I'm actually going to cut one for another Impulse, which can help us dig through our library a little bit more to find some more action when we run out. I think that's what I'll do here. Could be awkward, but we are on the draw. We can at least remove their 2-drop. And if we draw any land, we can play a villager. So I think this is a keep. There we go. So I think even though we're not getting value off the attack trigger, or the giving this a death touch, giving something death touch with this, I think we're still going to go ahead and play it here just to get on the board. They'll play a Desperate Farmer. And that makes it awkward because I want to leave a Bolt here to kill it, but that would mean we can't really play anything else. So let's attack. Fine trading. I don't think they will. And then we can play Villager, which can block it just fine. Oh wow, they will trade. Okay, it's weird. Yeah, I didn't think so. All right. Interesting. So we could play that now, give it to our villager and just go to town. We could flip to knight, do it next turn, and bolt the farmer on their turn, which is not very mana efficient. But that does flip the villager, and it's probably going to prompt a removal spell on the villager if they have one. That'll also let our Raconteur enter the battlefield on the backside. So they do have an instant of some sort here. We could attack with the villager and see if they do anything, but that doesn't turn it to knight. So let's put a stop on their upkeep here. No attacks. We'll go to end turn. They don't do anything, so we flip. We'll go ahead and kill their farmer if they let us. And they do. So now this likely prompts a removal spell, unless they have a really big creature here. Oh, geez. Lacerate Flesh doesn't do it on that. Okay, so if we play the Raconteur, they don't have good attacks with the Shaman to get that extra land. If we play Halana and Elena and attack, they still don't because of the Scorpion. This would be a 6/5, which is pretty good on this board. And then it can start giving other things haste as well. So let's start going to town here. 1 green, do they have a Massive Might? They might. Okay. Yeah, that's the only card in the format I can think that they can have for 1 green. So if we attack, we're basically trading this for a Persistent Specimen and a Massive Might. That's not good enough. Yeah, I don't think that's going to be good enough here, so we'll go ahead and leave it back. So they do have the removal spell. They saved it. Okay. So they're going to hold up Massive Might again. We're just going to drop a 4/4, I think. Still don't have good attacks. Okay, so they're just going to start pumping stuff out because we've proved to them. They're still going to hold up Massive Might. All right, all right. So Lacerate Flesh doesn't do it. We could attack here, trade for this, and flesh down the Shaman on the post-combat, which I think might need to happen, because if we don't kill this now, they're just going to start pumping out 3/3s every single turn here. So if we attack with this, they can Massive Might here to save it, which I don't think I want to do. If we attack with this, they can block with both of these, Massive Might that to trade, and they keep the Shaman. So I can't attack with this. I want to keep the Scorpion back to make sure the Shaman can't attack, but I'm not sure how we're going to get rid of this Shaman, unfortunately. So basically every turn they just spend their turn pumping out 3/3s at this point. So can we outrace that? I'm not sure we can, unfortunately. If we draw another land, we can have a 9/8 menace attacker. Oh god. Okay, so they have a 7/7 trample. Huh. So we can have a 9/8 menace attacker, which would effectively trade for the Colossus here. Is that good enough? Probably, because we have a Ripsaw left behind. They basically have to block it. We won't sack a forest. Yeah, that's the expected. Oh, so we get to trade for both, I guess. They want to keep their 3/3. So we do have a Ripsaw left behind on a menace creature, so we could have 7/7 menace coming back at them here. They still have Massive Might, which means it would not line up well against that. So we can 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 here. 5. We can't quite equip and Lacerate Flesh here. Yeah, they're just holding on to this Massive Might. I don't think this Epicure is doing anything. God, this stupid Shaman. I've lost to this so many times. This goes up to a 7/7. They're going to have a 5/5 and a 3/3, which doesn't work for that. Let's get rid of this Epicure and see what we can find. Spore Crawler. Oh, man. So we can Lacerate Flesh one of these insects right now, and maybe that would prompt them to use their massive might. We have 6 mana. We could play Spore Crawler and equip something. Yeah, I don't like this, but here we are. So let's go ahead. We can have a 6/5 here. Yeah, we're not attacking with Celebrants because we know we're only trading for 1 insect, which is not good enough. Are we just riding on the back of Ravager here? We might be. We do still have double Reckless Impulse in the deck, which is good. If they keep making insects, we might be able to just blood token our way to enough non-creatures to ping them out. Okay, so they have another 4/4. Light, luckily milled Glorious Sunrise here. Ulvenwald Oddity. Does that even do anything on this board? Not really, unfortunately. Alright, so let's see if they want to trade with the Crawler. They can trade this plus a Massive Might. They can eat it with the Shaman here, but then we can kill it with the Lacerate Flesh, which is fine by me. We don't need to give it Trample. Yeah, so we're going to get the Massive Might out of there. Oh no, they're just going to double block here. Okay, that's fine. Alright, so we'll draw our card. There's the Impulse. Alright. We haven't cast a spell yet. And we don't want to flip the Ravager. So what we're going to do is we're going to cast Impulse here. Hopefully hit a land that we can play, and then next turn we'll play the other spell that we hit off of it. Or we'll just get 2 lands, I guess. Let's do that. And then rather than play a second spell to flip the Ravager, let's go ahead and equip the Celebrants here. May as well just do this now. And then pass. All right. Okay. Yeah, I think this game is going to ride on the back of the Ravager here. They flip it back to day, unfortunately. We draw another land. We could flip it to night and do nothing. We still don't have great attacks with the Celebrants with their Massive Might up. So we have 9 lands, 17 cards in deck. I think we need this to ping for 2. So why don't we just use this, see what we can find. An Impulse. Okay, so I'd like to flip it tonight, and the next turn we can go Impulse, hit whatever we hit, Lacerate Flesh, deal 2 damage unless they double spell again, which I don't think they will. Because we know one of the cards in their hand is Massive Might, and they don't want to use that on their turn, I don't think. So, no attacks, we'll flip it. Okay, they'll make a 3/3 and hold up Massive Might again, which is fine because we have a Ravager now. So let's play Impulse. We might be able to just ping them out from 9. We have to play 5 spells, so maybe not. Okay, so we'll play this. We can play Runebound Wolf next turn. We can deal 4 more damage to them from this. I think we can get there as long as they don't kill the Ravager. The Wolf can also start pinging 2 turns after this, so yeah, let's keep that up. See, double Reckless Impulse working out really well this game. Yeah, so if they keep doing that, I don't think that's gonna do it for them here. That's not really gonna solve their problems. We can Abrade on their turn here to make sure we don't double spell on our own. It would trade for the Massive Might, which is fine. So let's Abrade. See if they use it or not. They don't. Another land. So let's see, if we go Wolf plus Lacerate Flesh, on their 2/2 we get 2 blood tokens. We flip it back. Why don't we do that first and see what we draw? 3, 4, 5. So if we do this, we get 2 blood tokens, and then we can mill away a forest. They can't even play around with Massive Might here. So we'll go ahead and get rid of our forest. We can get rid of the mountain. And then if we play Runebound Wolf plus Snarling Wolf, next turn Runebound Wolf is lethal. It does flip it back to day, but I think that's a risk I'm willing to take here, because we need to make sure we get the value from the wolf so it doesn't go away from the impulse. Now they have to pick their poison as to who they want. So we could trade this. I don't think they have great blocks on the Celebrants, honestly. Yeah, they could block here, use Massive Might, we trade it for the Millipede. Maybe that's good enough for them. But we have a different path to victory here right now. And that, folks, is why you play around the cards as much as you can, right? So we knew they had it. They kept holding it up like every single turn, burning their mana. And we were able to get in there at the end. Alright, so we'll be on the draw. 2 lands, but that's fine. We can play a wolf or a scorpion. We can hold up a braid even if we don't draw a land. So we have some plays here. It's a good turn 1 play from them. Wouldn't have mind drawing a Flame Blessed Bolt for that, but never lucky. No, it's fine. This smells of Syncopate. So I might just play the Scorpion first. They didn't have it. I mean, we weren't getting much more value from playing the wolf, and I think the wolf is a much better creature to want to have on the battlefield later in the game here. Okay. We'll just be mana efficient here and play the Spore Crawler. Don't need to attack. Three colors. All right. Let's see what they have. So we don't want to drop Helana and Elena into open mana here. Probably just want to play the Raconteurs. See what they have. Probably, yeah, Chill at the Grave. That's fine. No attacks. We'll play the Raconteurs. Get the day-night cycle going. Mountain isn't the worst draw here. It would let us double spell. Alright, so they'll tap that down too. They can attack with the Geist now. Take 4. Don't think we can do anything about that. That's not quite a mountain. Syncopate really destroys Helana and Elena, but it's the most mana efficient thing to do here. Yeah, we need to try to get it down. All right, and it did resolve. Let's see if it survives the turn now. Is there something in... They could have Piercing Light? Yeah, we can just take that. Looks like they didn't, but there's no need to... Oh, God. Okay. Sure. Let's wipe the board here. Play a Forest, and then we'll just drop Celebrants here. So it did not quite survive the turn, but it also nothing did, so. Cruel Witness, that's a nice Abrade target. And there's our land. So let's just do this now while they're tapped out. We still have 4 mana left over, and we'll go ahead and play a creature. I don't think we want to get rid of either of these with blood. Screaming Swarm, okay. Good thing is we have 2 menace creatures on the field. So we have 6 mana, so we can play and equip, and that really puts the pressure on them. Or we can play both of these, and then next turn we can equip. I think that's fine, because both of these have menace, so they can't be blocked. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. And a Runebound Wolf. Get in there for 4. And the next turn we can equip. Okay, what are they? They're gonna let me see what they targeted? Nope. They just let it happen. All right. Heron of Hope. Okay. No way they can attack with this one. Oh, there we are at 9. I didn't even realize that. Okay, so if we... I think we have to play and equip, but where do we equip is the question. Equip on the villager, and we have a 5/6. We can attack with the 2 of these. I think that seems fine. No need to sack and land. They can't really go to 2 because we can just kill them next turn with Runebound Wolf. Okay, so hopefully they don't have an immediate answer right now that kills us or kills Runebound Wolf. That shouldn't do it. That also shouldn't... Oh, well, they can give it lifelink, I suppose. But they don't. Okay, so Runebound Wolf right now deals 3. And even if they kill it, kill something in response, it deals 2, which is enough. And that looks like that'll do it. All right, so I said we'd rattle off 7 in a row. So far, that's 3. Let's see if we can keep going. Oh, this is really awkward. So we're first. Any land lets us cast Spore Crawler. We desperately need a mountain. We only have 16 lands in the deck. Oh, man. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and keep, although this could really backfire, obviously. At least it's a play. And there we go. All right, another card we can't cast. Here we go. Hopefully it's not too late here. All right, so I don't think we want to attack anymore because we want to start playing our creatures. Do we play Villager or Spore Crawler? Villager blocks better on this board, so let's go ahead and play that. Don't need to attack. Hopefully we can crawl our way out of this here. Looks like they're digging for land as well, or a play of some sort. Still no land for them. That's awkward. Okay, I think we need to guarantee we hit a land here, even though Or just mill 2 cards that we can't play. 2 mana, mill 2. Okay. We'll miss another one. Do we just get value out of one of these cards over here? Probably. The battle of the staring contest. We do have a human. They're gonna have a 5/3 flyer here, but gosh, what do we do about that? Not much. We could also just sack the Spore Crawler to draw a card to try to draw in some more lands here. Next turn we probably just have to Rending Flame their flyer, so yeah. Alright, so they drew their... Looks like white might have been a splash for them. So we can still Rending Flame that. And let's hope they can't protect it, because if they can, we lose. So... Okay, so they're just going to fire theirs off on ours. That's fine. We'll make a blood token. And no need to attack, because we're on the defensive a little bit here. Okay, so it looks like they have a ton of low drops here. As long as we can kind of establish a board presence and survive, we might be alright. Let's get Runebound Wolf and Spore Crawler down. Now it's a little bit of a staring contest. Sure, we'll just sacrifice the Epic here. Okay. We'll trade. That's fine. Alright, so... I think we want a Reckless Impulse first here. Okay, so do we abrade something now? I think we can bolt something now and play Ripsaw, and then next turn we can abrade something. Yeah, let's do that. So let's bolt, I suppose, just... Their Celebrant has good attacks on this board now, so... I suppose we can bolt their Celebrant. Play a Forest and play Ripsaw. We don't have good blocks here, especially against the Gargantua, but also that. I think we can trade. Playing a little bit on the back foot here, but Rending Flame. Okay, so Rending Flame will be able to kill our Runebound Wolf if we do it on that. Also, Lacerate Flesh. Can't do that plus Abrade because we don't have enough lands. So we need to Abrade. So I think we're going to go ahead and do that and then Rending Flame that. They're going to be left with 2/2/2s. And we're going to have nothing. But we can't let this survive. So let's Abrade. We can hold up Rending Flame here to threaten a trade with the zombie to prevent 2 more damage, which I think is what we need to do. Yeah, let's do that. Sure, we'll pass to blockers. So they're probably going to shoot down our Runebound Wolf here, which is fine. We expected that, but we saved 2 life from doing it this way. So at least there's that. So we can't even double spell here, unfortunately. By 6. So I think I'm gonna go play this. Ah, man. And we'll see if they kill it, we might need to dump something to a blood token to make sure we don't die. Okay, they didn't kill it. We'll play Raconteur. And I think we actually need these lands here. So let's give it to this, and then we can get a little aggro here. All right, looks like they didn't really draw out of it there. Hope everyone's enjoying a nice little draft here. If you have any comments or suggestions, things you'd like to see, go ahead and leave it in the comments. I definitely take a look at all those, and love to see what you guys have to say about some of the drafts, some of the plays, anything in general. Maybe how your life is going, how your Thursday's going, you know. All right, so we'll need a land here, but worst case, if we don't hit one, we can impulse ideally into a land. But that may be wishful thinking. It's pretty good. So if we hit a land, we do not. Alright, so 2 mana, mill 2, do nothing. Is all that was. Hopefully they don't syncopate, because we need this. They do. Magic can be frustrating sometimes when it comes down to land versus no land, right? We've got 2 lands in our top 12 cards here. Yeah. Sure, let's just do that now, because it doesn't matter. They have the rescue card. All right. Hey, look, there it is. Does it matter? Who knows? We'll see. Which one do we want? Probably the crawler, so we can threaten to trade that off and draw another card. Try to get another land in here. Can't block it. We have to hope they don't have a way to sacrifice the egg. Okay. Still no good attacks. So let's just play Villager. Maybe they kill it. Nope. All right. So we're not actually as behind as I might have thought originally. Okay, so this attack signifies they have some sort of trick here, but we have to block it. Okay, so this can't block anymore. Let's go ahead and just ensure that something trades here. Maybe they're just looking for a blood token and to flip their farmer. That was it. Okay. Yeah. So we have Rending Flame to deal with one of these creatures. Spore Crawler can trade with Harvester right now, so we can leave that on the field. Rending Flame can deal with this, so they can stop digging their way out of any extra lands they draw. But if we draw a land like we did, I'm gonna be hard pressed to not just cast one of these 4-drops here. Halana and Elena threatens a block on the Bloodcaster. Yeah, I think we just, maybe they have another counterspell in hand, but I'd like to give us our best chance of winning here. Yep, they have the Bleed Dry. Or the Hero's Downfall. I feel like every time we've played that card, they just kill it. Why is that always the case here? All right, so we have a block on the Harvester still. That's about it. But they can cast the Geist, the backside of the equipment on the crawler. Yeah, okay. So now we don't have any blocks. We take 6. I think we can't take 6 because this is just going to kill us. So let's draw a card. All right, so because we drew the Scorpion, we might be able to Rending Flame their Bloodcaster here. And this can trade with one of the Harvesters, but then we still have to deal with another one. Next turn we can drop a 4/4 that can deal with the other one. Because if we deal with this Harvester here, this one will flip, and they'll still have a Bloodcaster getting more blood tokens. So we need to just kill this. So they'll flip that, and we'll hope they don't draw removal for the Scorpion. So they are willing to trade one, which we have to take. It is night now, so I'd rather trade this for the Harvester, although this is going to come in as a 6/4. This will come in as a 4/4, but this has more upside later in the game, so I'd rather trade this for the Harvester. They drew another land, that's good. Reckless Impulse. Okay, so Impulse into another land allows us to play either of these cards, hopefully. We could also just add to the board, do this, and then do this next turn. Yeah, let's just do that. I want to add to the board here, make sure we're at 6, so we can't really afford a ton. So they are flooding out here, which is good news for us to get back into this a little bit, but they are at 27, so let's go ahead and Reckless Impulse first. Play the land, and if we cast the Oddity, these will flip back. If we cast the Wolf, they'll flip back. One, two, three, four, five, six, 7. So next turn we can flip the Oddity because we know they have a land in hand. which would give both of these 5 toughness, and that would, I mean, that would almost be game if they don't top deck immediate removal. Yeah. Let's just force them to find removal for the oddity right now. Or just do that. Okay. Okay, what do we do now? So this can turn into an 8/8. I think we need to get rid of this wolf because we need to turn this into an 8/8. They can chump. These will flip. Hopefully they don't draw another spell, because if they do, we're just basically done. Okay, so we can get rid of the horror here, thank God. It's kind of surprising they're willing to trade that off. Alright, so rare for rare. Let's see if we can push through. Still have 28 more damage to get through here. How many impulses do we have? 1 left, 2, no, we've used them both. We have a couple of celebrants. I don't think we want to be attacking here. They are getting priorities, so they have an instant. And that looks like it'll do it, folks. Toxerol and Hullbreaker Horror. Yeah, and we top deck another land, so... Yep, looks like that'll do it for today. Welcome to Crimson Vow, as I always say when something like that happens. But, you know, you do what you gotta do. Sometimes they're on your side, sometimes they're on theirs. Not a bad little finish there, though, starting off 0-3 and then rattling back 4 straight wins. And here it is. It only took us 14 drafts to finally reach back up to a 50% win percentage at the end of a draft. So yeah, let's see if we can only let it go up from there. We're starting to kind of find a little bit of a groove here in Crimson Vow. So yeah, thanks so much for sticking to the end of the video, and that'll do it for this one. Thanks for everyone for tuning in, and I'll see you tomorrow for your daily draft.